Well, I suppose we have to start off with something we don't really want to talk about, but really Monday night and the result. How are you feeling about it just now, Lee?
I don't think I'd be lying to say that, as along with every supporter that was there and every player that was involved and every staff member that was there, it's been a tough couple of days, Callum. We've got to understand that these sort of days are few and far between in football, but it also shows how far we've come as a football club that we are so disappointed after losing in a quarter-final of a Scottish Cup. I think that's where we would love to be as a football club. If we're getting to a point where we're disappointed losing in a quarter-final of a Scottish Cup, we must be doing something right along the way, because there's a relative success involved in that. And I think it's important that we move on quickly, but it's also important that we don't forget that feeling that we had in that changing room after, because nobody wants to be part of that. Football is highs and lows. And there is probably, at a football club like Ayr United, there's probably more lows than highs. So we've got to remember that, use it as a bit of a motivational tool. But the good thing about this league is that we have a game very, very quickly coming up, and an opportunity with quarter of the season to go, as I said after the game there, 9 games to go, to do something pretty historic for this football club. And that's got to be the way we look at it. We can't forget the feelings of Monday, but we've got to stay positive and got to get right behind everybody involved at the football club in relation to this last quarter.
The amount of fans who turned up at the game on Monday shows the real potential of the club as well, and they were magnificent.
Oh, unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. And we all get the frustrations and the disappointments after a sore result. But they sang from first minute to the last, and credit to Falkirk as well. It was such a good atmosphere, and unfortunately we were the team that came out on the wrong side of it, and we have to deal with that, and we have dealt with that over the last sort of 2 or 3 days. The lads have been great, they've got their heads up, they've trained well, and all focus now is on Hamilton on Saturday.
Sean, from your point of view, what's it been like sessions since then? Are the team really up for it?
Yeah, definitely. Look, it's obviously disappointing the other night, but you've got to move on really quickly. Obviously, another massive game coming up on Saturday, and all the boys are raring to go. I think everyone just wants to get back out there and try and put things right. We're in a fantastic position, 4th place in the league with 9 games to go. So it's all to play for, and everyone's really looking forward to getting back out there.
Right, before we go on to Saturday's game, some really good news this week that you've signed another contract with the club. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, delighted. I think we tried to start getting it done in January, and it took a couple of months, but I'm really pleased to get it done and commit my future to the club. It's obviously it's been a fantastic time since I've came in 2 years ago. Probably a little bit disappointing last year, but to turn the corner and finish, if we can finish the season really strong this year, it'll be a fantastic season. And look, I'm delighted to get it done, and I look forward to the next 2 years and hopefully many more fond memories.
Now, I think there's no real big secrets. There's whispers around everyone that you were approached for other clubs for you at Christmas time, January window as well. What made staying at Ayr United important for you? Yeah,
there was a little bit of interest from 2 or 3 clubs, but look, I've really enjoyed it here. I love the club. Fan base is fantastic, and I think the club's on a real upward trajectory at the moment, and it's fantastic to be here, and a great group of players. And look, it's a real good opportunity to play at a high level and hopefully push to get in the Premiership, whether that's this year or the coming years. So look, it's a good opportunity for myself, and look, my family's really settled up here, and that was obviously a big part of it, and I'm just looking forward to the next couple of years now.
Now, coming over to you, Lee, there about this, is that you've always said the whole club has said they don't want to have this scrambling about at the end of a season to try and keep the best players. Is this a major part of this plan?
Carl, since I come in the door and listened to the chairman's vision, along with Graham coming in, We're basically in the first chapter of the story that the chairman's trying to build. We're still so early on it, and a big part of that is continuity within the playing staff and trying to give us a good foundation, a good spine of a team to build round in relation to what we don't want is scattergun approach to recruitment at the end of every season where we're having to change 12, 13, 14 players all the time. It'd be nice to change maybe 4, 5, 6 new faces to add to what we're building this season, what we built last season. And Sean's a big part of that. He's a fantastic ambassador for the football club. He has lost his place in the team a couple of times this season, but he's not flinched to that. He's understood that, and then he's worked his way back into the team and deservedly kept his place. He's a leader on the pitch and off the pitch. So from that aspect, it's brilliant. Callum, we're sitting here last year on 27 games with 29 points. This year we're 27 games with 43 points and an opportunity of getting into the playoffs with 9 games to go. And Sean's been a big part of that. And it's important the boys in that change room realise how well they've done up to this point on the back of 1 or 2 blips, understandably. But they've done great in where they are. Are we punching above where we thought we'd be at the beginning of the season? If you ask majority of supporters or players and even myself, yeah, probably. But we deservedly are where we are, and we deservedly have the opportunity to go on and potentially do something more. And with players like Sean within the ranks, and obviously we've got 2 or 3 still under contract, and the fact that the chairman's willing to give out two-year contracts rather than the old style of a 1-year contract, and we're trying to chase our tails every year. That's the way a proper football club is run, and that's a big reason that I decided to join Ayr United. 1, the hysteria of the football club. 2, the fantastic fan base, and 3, the chairman's vision of where he wanted to take the football club and try and do things right.
Okay, so on to Saturday. We're up to Hamilton. A team that's changed just a little bit over the last little while, seem to be settling back into a rhythm, getting good results. How do you approach this one, Mike?
With great danger. Hamilton, rightly so. I mean, we beat them down here 1-0 with a deflected goal. Tough game. Every game we've played against them has been a tough game against Hamilton. And after that game, where we beat them here, they've gone on a hell of a run. They were a little bit tailed off at the bottom of the league. They've dragged themselves right back into contention from that side of things. I think John and his staff have done a wonderful, wonderful job with these players. And this is, I mean, potentially the next 3 games could be our hardest of the quarter. You know, you're battling against Arbroath, battling against Hamilton and battling against Cove. We were in this position last year at this time, and we went on a run of form that would have put us in 5th place on average with the games we played our second half of the season. And Hamilton are producing that kind of form now. Very good footballing team, and full credit to the board at Hamilton as well, because at times when you're going through a hard time, fans get louder, and the back John and John's produced the results, and he's done a tremendous job. I'm delighted for him.
And back to you again, Sean. You said just before we came on air for this that you thought Hamilton were one of the best footballing teams you've played against.
Yeah, I think on their pitch, on their day, they're definitely one of the better footballing sides. They knock it about really well. They've got some really good players, so we know we've got to be right on our game on Saturday to go and take the 3 points. Obviously, all 3 games so far have been pretty close. We've managed to come out on top twice and a draw as well. So, look, it's going to be an exciting game, but look, we know we've got to be right at it to go and take the 3 points on Saturday. And look, if we take them 3 points, it then sets us up really nicely for Tuesday night against Dundee. So, but full focused on Hamilton on Saturday first.
So no feeling sorry for yourselves, just getting ahead in the game and going for that game?
No, definitely. Look, Monday's gone, it's done. Disappointed, but we've all moved on from that now, and 9 massive games to go, and we can really go and attack that now, and hopefully we can get the points we need to see us right high up the table.